Alright, we're setting up the stream. Just having some issues with a kick. As usual, we kind of go off on a rough start. The other thing is that Kick likes to not take any input from OBS and likes to broadcast my face before I'm ready to stream. So I'm doing a bunch of weird stuff on camera, fixing the lights and everything. Alright, let's go ahead and welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking around. If you're sticking around, I appreciate that. If you're just seeing me for the first time, I'm Salty EQ Vet, or the Salty EQ Vet, depending on what platform you are on. Looks like I got everything ready to go. We usually kind of have a rough start when we begin our streams. I am playing exclusively Monsters and Memories, which is what you see on screen. Is a classically inspired MMORPG based off of old school titans like EverQuest. I would say this is certainly a spiritual successor to EverQuest. It's trying to do its own thing, and so we got to give it credit for it. I mean, there's been the discussion in the community whether or not this is a clone. At this point in time, I don't think it really matters if it's a clone or not, and it's just been so long to where, I mean, they need to have like a relaunch of the game, but we're not going to get that with Daybreak Studios because they are just kind of fumbling the ball at this point in time. And double check my other streams. Looks like we're good on YouTube. We're good on Kick. Thank you for my Kick audience for being understanding and sticking around. Appreciate it. More than you know. Alright, so we are in Night Harbor right now. As I wrap up getting everything settled with the stream. I really got to come up with a way to get this going the first try. May have to talk to other streamers about it. Alright, let's see. Okay. We're in Night Harbor. Let's pull up the GUI. Let's get this going. Back on our druid friend here, Indurrian. We're going to be going to probably Shaded Dunes. Get some copper, get some tailoring. Mostly we're going to try to go through our inventory of gems. Maybe see how well we can get... See if they change the drop rate in the crystallized magic, because it seems like we were getting a fair amount in the last few days without even really looking for them. Alright, so we got ensnare. I don't think I need that. I don't think I pull our line north. I don't think I need that. Go with lesser regeneration. Yeah, that'll be fine. Probably Grizzly Barrier. Okay. And then we're probably going to need Mantle of Winter. One of the things I was thinking about is that we were trying to get, I think it was last stream, we were trying to get hide. We were trying to get specifically the pelts, and it was just taking forever to kill the mob solo. Now when I was in Slayheim stream and Classic EverQuest stream, when we were doing that dungeon, they did mention that they made soloing harder, more difficult. Now, there's a difference between like more difficult and then just kind of like ludicrously long on, or tedious, I would say. And I think at least on the druid, now that they made the more world quote unquote more dangerous, it's gotten more tedious to actually do things, and certain glaring issues like Charm Beast is more of a risk versus reward type of gameplay. Now we could circumvent him by getting charisma gear if we really want to. I kind of feel like it's a core aspect of the class. And we really shouldn't have to worry that much about it. So I mean, it's been kind of like a frustrating learning experience. I mean, which I'm all for, but I don't remember it taking that long to kill a single mob with any class in EverQuest. Maybe I'm just misremembering certain things. Maybe I'm not. But I feel like it was a little bit faster than what we're doing with now. And plus having to, you can't really stand up with the druid. I mean, you kind of have to kite, is what I'm discovering. And I didn't think you would have to do that for a single blue mob, or at least a single dark blue mob. I would probably consider doing that with a white con. But as I'm discovering, that doesn't seem to be the case. So beforehand, before they made the Dangerous World, we got these dots. And one of the justifications that the dev team was making was, oh, well, your dots don't matter, so we'll make it matter by basically scaling the mob health. And while that's true, they do matter. It's just, I think it's a little bit egregious. They could have made our dots matter by just increasing the damage to the dots. I don't mind difficulty. I don't mind or a certain level of difficulty where the mobs are kind of like hard or somewhat intelligent. I don't know if I need to have like an arduous journey slaying one mob. Because to me, it's kind of like, okay, well, you're kind of like soft locking people who enjoy soloing. And again, this is not like a solo game, and I get that, but you know, there was a certain aspect to EverQuest where you can log on and you can solo, and it was therapeutic. You weren't going to get like the most XP out of it, right? It wasn't the most efficient way. It was still grouping, but it definitely feels difficult dealing with a single mob at my level, and that could be for a variety of reasons. Typically, I've been having issues with my streams, so that's been more of my focus on here, and so it's been kind of, I finally got the Twitch thing sorted out, or quick, kick sorted out. And we're just looking for copper, because we need to make copper wires. We got a bunch of enchanted bars somewhere in our bank. Plus we need to make copper fittings for, I think I'm gonna go with the Elementalist. I think that's the next class I'm gonna really dive into. but we still got to go on our own quest trying to get the best possible gear we can for our cleric. Maybe fighter. I don't know if they're going to release all three at the same time. It would be good if they did. Just joining us, hey, welcome. Alrighty. Where is... There's a note up there. Now, I've been in there. I think it's unfinished. I think it leads to a dungeon. But it's a dungeon that's not in-game as of yet. Or it was in-game and then they removed it. I mean, they did do that with one other dungeon that I'm aware of, which is the sewers in Night Harbor, which is kind of unfortunate because they were kind of fun to skulk around in. But one of the issues that I've been having is actually playing a different alt. Because the druid can really just go anywhere. So we gotta get the wizard up. We gotta get the... Yeah, it's probably what I would recommend if you're gonna have your favorite main character, but you're gonna have a roster. And so in the roster, you're gonna need a druid and a wizard, in my opinion, because people are always gonna need ports. It's always gonna be a thing with people. Hey, all right. See, nobody comes out here. And so with the wizard more in particular, I think a lot of people are like, okay, well this feels horrible to play. I don't know if they did anything with it. Hoping that they did. Man, I would really like to play it, like to get it up to like level 32. I know that Necromancer is also a really good class. And I do like the Elementalist a little bit more. I think it's kind of... I like the class fantasy, being kind of like a wizard monk. It's kind of cool. Or airbender, right? Like, if you want to have like an analogy to another medium. Okay. Where else can I go, gentlemen? I think it's gonna be... We're gonna look up here. Oh, you know what I could do, since I have a torch? Okay, we didn't grab that one. How do we get down there? Not like breaking a leg. Alright. No, we might have to jump down. Dang it. Okay, we'll try that again. So yeah, we've been on a crafting journey. We're going to continue on with our crafting journey. Chompers is near the beach ruin. Someone shouts. Fortunately, I had to kill steal someone. And I wasn't setting out to do that. I was just trying to help the dude. And I spoke about this before, man. Like, you know, when I'm trying to help someone and they're just kind of like an a-hole, to me it's like, okay, well, I don't know, man. It's like, you know, you still got that, I still got that like retired infantryman in me where I'm like, all right, fuck you, I'm gonna fight you. You want to see how much of an a-hole I can be? I can. And I hate doing that. Like, I hate being that way. It just... Yeah, interactions like that do bother me. Water on the bridge now. I forgot what the guy's name was, anyways. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, we could have come up this way. Alright, I didn't think we could. Alright. Let's buff up. Get our... Get our act together here. We're into metal... Oh, I already have metal water. Nice. No sound for it. I'm sure they'll fix that any day. They don't take away bristly barrier. Probably minor lightning strike and ensnare, or snaring vines. Snaring vines. Put stone skin on there. Oh, hey, nice. So yeah, we've been on a very long crafting journey. And the roadblock right now is getting the tier 2 mats. Because I'm just not having an efficient time to kill the mob. I mean, we might not even be able to make the bronze armor. I think we might be able to, but there are other classes that we do need to get. Do need to help. Frostbite. Swarm gnats. So now I feel like these right now are very much appropriate for like a mob like this. Level appropriate. But when we're trying to kill like a grizzly bear or a forest stalker in Keeper's Bite, it's brutally long. And I feel like maybe, and this is just me, maybe the DPS classes are kind of having a better time with soloing because of the changes. Now, I want to say I do love this game, and hopefully I'm not like overly complaining about this, but I think it just needs to be said. When you have a class like Druid, and you're marketing it as like a solo class or a strong solo class, it needs to perform well, not be frustrating for the player. So I mean, it does perform well in the groups. I will say that, and I think every class is going to do that to a degree. And in my opinion, I mean, it really excels when all the other bases are covered, like healing, because then you can like switch and triage certain areas. Right, if you need crowd control, if you need DPS, or if you need healing, I mean, more of that. The only thing you can't really do is tank. So I'm not certain if like Jack of all trades is a good descriptor of the Druid, but I mean it certainly can heal, certainly can DPS, or does burst damage. At the very least, it can solo and be self-sufficient. But as far as its tanking method, it is pretty much kiting. See if I can stick with it. For a while, but I mean pretty much this is what your experience is going to be if you're just doing the trade skilling. It's going to be very slow progress, but I don't mind being in a hell level while doing this. Okay, we got a tailoring kit. I wasn't supposed to stream today, but I decided that I should. I don't mind all the brittlestone either, because we can share that with their alts, and they can do some retail arbitrage. Yeah, this is a very relaxing type of game. We're just going around murdering things, even though we're not getting XP. I mean, we're still able to skill up on certain things, so if you need to and you're kind of behind, you can do this if you really want to. And you'll still gain skill points, like offensive and defensive. I'm sure blocking and slashing do level up these guys. Okay, we got Tanner Rawhide. Very good. We got Tanner Rawhide. Nope, another one. Bring it over here. I see a node. Shoreline. Let's play again. I think the only problem with jewel crafting, I mean, yeah, is the enchanted dust is kind of the big thing. And they are aware of that, they are looking at that. I don't know if it's a priority, since they got the deep coming out soon. So with the deep, we're not going to get a class revamp, so we got to keep that in mind. But it'll be after the class revamp. The class revamp will be after the deep releases. That's going to be a very interesting experience. Because I wonder how humans are going to fare down there. Check over here. I haven't moved in spring yet, but I mean, it's kind of whatever about it for now. We don't have bristly barrier on. Kind of a problem for us. Grab all these guys. Let's do this. Bristly barrier. Very cool. I'm low on drink. It's not a problem for the druid. I was kind of tooling around on the elementalist. And it is somewhat fun. I mean, you get to summon weapons. It definitely feels like a well thought out class. That's a lot of them. There we go. Damage still is really saving us. Let's see if we can push it. Never in doubt. It was never in doubt. You're just joining us. Hey, thanks for stopping by. And welcome. Coming back in, welcome back. Glad to have you. Alright, pretty much that was an easy one for us. Easy win. Although we do have some downtime we gotta contend with. So let's go ahead and switch our season 2 spring. Yeah, we just need more manals, man. We really do. But I gotta say, like, you know, typically I don't play like a cloth class, but the cloth in this game is, or at least the graphics for the cloth are actually pretty good. We'll go ahead and just destroy that. We don't need that. Take the rest of the longsword. Just hey, all right. Here we go. Was this no leatherworking? We can always use that for making rawhide bags, so we can sell. Probably sell them for 30 or 40 copper, or copper, silver. Drop that for somebody. Very cool. Put heal on there. Then I'll put touch of earth. So look at our inventory here. Okay, we got one stack of there. Okay. We are so it's just probably trying to find another stack of copper. Go ahead and get rid of this. Looks like there's the hunting party for our chompers. Alright. Not seeing any nodes pop over here. We are going to have to contend with that group I aggroed. We'll be fine. Oh wow. Stunned me before I can get away. Not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and just re-snare him. Then we'll hit him with a lightning strike. I do like that. That is pretty cool. So I mean, the druid class is actually really good at crafting, or at least gathering the materials for crafting, and you can have another toon be specialized in a certain profession if you want. I might do that with Jewelcrafting with some different character. I think you start off with like 25 skill for whatever profession you decide to go with. I think humans are better at making things. Not innately, but it's like kind of just like the best choice for them. Hey, alright. I do kind of hate leaving things on the ground, but it is what it is. I might shake things up and play a different character. There's enough of them. I don't think it'll strike me. I think it's just kind of hard to get off when you got so many people wailing on you. It's very satisfying. Can't. Right. I wonder, you can't cast spells from that school of magic. And I think that happens after they kick you, so... But I don't have any... It didn't seem like I have any debuffs. Oh, so one of my friends was watching the stream, and he's like, is that a buff bar on the top? I was like, yeah. He's like, you buff in the game? I was like, yeah. And he's like, there's buff classes? Yeah. He's like, oh man, I think I'm gonna really play this game now. I was like, oh sweet. What do I got here in my hands? So yeah, you can... It is a game where you kind of have to set up before you go out. Of course, depending on what class you're playing. Alright, let's take a look at our inventory. 18... I mean, I kind of wish there was something like pelts for, like, cloth. A little bit, like, maybe go into herbalism. There's, like, cotton plants somewhere, I don't know. Because, I mean, it is nice to get those, like, 24 rawhide scraps or 24 hide scraps from a medium pelt when you're able to tan it. But you don't get that from tailoring. And right now I'm kind of having a hard time deciding on what character I should play next. We could try the wizard again. And the only reason why I would want a wizard is really just to, for the ports. That's really it. Because you can make bank. I don't have bristly barrier on you. So yeah, my advice, if the devs ever see this, is like, you know, yeah, you made the world more dangerous, but I think it's just more tedious. In my opinion. And that may be depending on the class. Either it might be the druid class that might just not feel good at this level. And that could be it too. What I really like about this, I mean, at least with the zones around like Night Harbor, I think, are very well flushed out. And Robert Engstrand, again, does a really good job. And you get different soundtracks depending on where you are in the zone. And I kind of wish that was in Evershade a little bit, and in Keeper's Bite. I know that's probably not a priority to them. I think the priority is the Deep, so we are getting new soundtracks with the Deep. But they, at least over here when you're first starting the game, it is very well thought out. It's just going to have a lot of people here. If you're playing a class like Wizard. So it is a little bit more difficult, at least in the beginning, to like make money around Night Harbor, in my opinion. Later, I mean, it seems to be fairly easy, right? We haven't really been doing this long. We already got like 900 copper on us. And if you're a cleric, you should be having a field day with these guys. Alright, we're gonna look for more copper. I see one node. Guess we have to make that copper wire. If you're just joining us, hey, welcome. Coming back in, welcome back. We're just doing our trade skilling, as usual. It's been a very long journey. We hit several milestones already. With the copper. We're taking a little bit of a detour on taking a look at Jewelcrafting, looking at the ins and outs. It does kind of seem like it is a little bit arduous. Because, I don't know, we've been out here, what, 40 minutes? Maybe? We haven't gotten anything. As far as, like, crystallized magic goes. And it's required. When you progress in that skill tree. Or skill set. And that's one of the things they are looking at. I mean, so like, I mean, some of my criticisms the devs already know, and they're already looking at. I mean, it is a fun game. It is a game that sucks you in. It's a game that immerses you in the world. It's okay to be critical of it. As long as it's constructive criticism, right? We don't want to be shitting all over the devs and saying this game is going to fail. I think there's definitely a market for it. I think there's definitely a demand for it. I know some people are having an issue with the $15 a month prices. You know, here, let's do this. Now, when I was a kid, right, it was like $14.99 per month. And that was back in like the year 2001, right? Let's see. Let's see, what is 15? Alright, so we paid $15, $14.99 for the subscription fee back in the early 2000s. Now, in today's money, because of inflation, that's almost $30. It's about 28 bucks. So I mean, we're paying far less for it these days. Is my argument. And I mean, you know, if you're kind of used to the free-to-play model and you don't want to have to buy a subscription every month just to play a game, like, I get it. That's why Guild Wars was so popular. People were like, no, pay to play is fucking bullshit. Excuse my vulgarity, but yeah. I just remember one NCO that we were talking in the army, and he was a big Guild Wars fan, and he made a very adamant point about that. So $15. And it really hasn't changed much, right? Hey! Crystallized magic. Nice. Oh, this is a rich copper vein. Okay. Very cool. We still have to make bronze. We still have to do the bronze hinges for my archer. So there's a lot of local support, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing archer. Was like, okay, well, I have to get blacksmithing up to a certain point in order to use my own traps. I'm not sure how that feels. It feels good. I know it's like the second tier, like the very basic. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one that's the problem. That water's nice. Oh, is that a... There's something in the water. We're gonna harvest these guys. A bit easier to see now in the day. Crafting in this game is very much a commitment. And I guess my tips would be, if you're going to be crafting the game, I would have the basic gathering tools on all of your characters. Just like when you're out in the wild, it's like, oh, I can go ahead and just gather that node. Some nodes you're just not going to be able to gather. Like 10, so you're going to have to put some effort into it. We're getting a lot of copper nodes. I do kind of want to... Yeah, I'm really torn about the next character. I kind of want to play Elementalist or the Wizard. We did try the Wizard once. it didn't feel good, although what people are saying is you kind of have to be patient with it and immediately get yourself into a group, so we can certainly try that. Elementalist is an interesting class because you do have to buy stuff to get your pets. And so the wizard in this game doesn't work like the traditional wizard. You actually do have to get in melee range. One of the other things I found out about a wizard, you get dual wield. Also, the community, the wizard community in this game is actually, they're really fun. At least their posts are really funny. The Elementalist does get a lot of support. We can get some advantages. Food and water, much like the Druid. Imagine not having to make bandages. A supposedly rich copper vein. Looks like somebody was whacking at it. Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Oh, they're indifferent? Are they all indifferent? Okay. I want to make sure before I go trotting through their camp. Let's take a look at our inventory. It's nice that we got that though. Okay, alright. We can head back. Go ahead back and do some crafting. And then we'll think about moving on to a different character. I feel like we're gonna have the same issue with the wizard that we were having with the rogue, where it was just kind of hard to find groups. All right, let's go ahead and talk to this guy. Let's do some conversion. Very cool. I always see these guys as midlife mana crisis. We got 40, let's do 40. Not a bad haul. Not too bad. All right. So it is going to take some time to get through all of that. Not too bad though. Alright, now that we've got the... Let's see. We've still got 19 left? Okay. We can squirrel that away for now. Still got our... I think more people have been coming here because it's less populated, but because of that, it's becoming more populated. The Westgate Bank is really hard to get in. We got our mining pouch. Alright, I mean, the resin can be sold. Stone. Real sharpening stone, I'll put that in the shared area. We'll take the dragonstone because we can try to level up our blacksmithing on it. So I think the... It's in the tailoring kit. Okay, we gotta do a few things. We gotta sell a few things. EverQuest Legends it just dropped, I think. So there's a lot of people playing that right now. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to join them. Oh yeah, I found this in the desert. Off a dead giant and someone just left. Yeah, I can sell that. It's fine. Not bad. What about this? Do I got anything for this guy? Let's check the cook. Yeah, I can sell that. I can sell these. I really don't need those. Sell that. Sell that. That we need to turn into the shamans. Tailoring kit, we're gonna go and condense our stacks into bolts of cloth because we will need them for later. And we'll make a bunch of sharpening stones for our alts. The reason why we want to make that is so when we get a little bit of money on our alts, we can, I mean, we can always share what we got with our main guy, but sometimes I want to do retail arbitrage. Buy some rusty weapons off the shady vendor, and then turn them into tarnish, and then sell them back. Alright, let's go ahead, jacket start. Let's go ahead and craft all. Alright, at least we got a skill out of that. One skill point. I don't know if there's like a jeweler over here. I don't think there is, so I think we have to go to the western area of Night Harbor. But first, we actually need to go back to Evershade, because I gotta check the bank. Because we're not gonna make any progress if we don't have those enchanted bars. I should have grabbed all the gems out of the Night Harbor Bank. Okay. Nice change of scenery. We don't have to worry about our eyeballs melting due to all the sand. Might have to change the description of the video by going a different character. That's okay. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Alright, so in this situation, it's always good to have a emergency spellbook, which we do. And we just need, in this case, just Evershade. I do need to populate it with more spells now. Alright, we'll put the spellbook back. Don't have enough mana for this ability just yet. Well, that's fun. I don't know what happened. Did I get stuck? The elevator boss strikes again. This time it was me. I might have just been standing too close to the edge and I just got pushed over by the geometry. probably what happened. It's unfortunate that did cost quite a bit of experience. That does hurt a little bit. That's okay. Just a tad bit. Let's check the stream just to make sure everything is. Yep, okay, bit rate's good. It's going to be a shorter stream today. Typically I try to stream a bit earlier. But today I just, I had a few things to do. I get my application ready for the university. And I manually entered all my grades and all the classes I've ever taken. One of the things that bothered me about it was there was break semesters that I had, and they wanted to know the reasons why I took a break, and I was like, to me, it felt like I don't really need to explain myself. Like I don't. Alright. What else can we make? That'd be cool. Alright, well, we'll focus on bronze. We'll turn in our bone chips. It does get a little monotonous doing the trade skilling. But we're gonna try to do as much as we can with the time that we have. Oh, yeah, leather working kit, we can go ahead and put all these guys here, that over here. Okay. Wonder how much bank I'm gonna make. So there's got to be like another like druid circle around the deep somewhere. It's when the first comes out, I imagine that there's going to be a lot of people contacting me. Okay. Let's take a look at what we have here. We have the enchanted bars in here. We got 29 of them. Yeah, I guess that'd be fine. Alright, we'll just take that. We'll take that. We'll leave these. We'll gate back. And this is the power of the druid. I can only imagine how hard it's going to be for people trying to craft on certain characters that aren't as mobile. Probably gonna drive some people crazy. Especially like herbalism. Like I feel like that's gonna be a bitch and a half to get done, because there's gonna be some plants that you have to go to the Elf City and get. We'll squirrel these away for right now. We'll put this over here. Oh, can't do that. Alright, that's perfectly fine. Out. Take that tin ore out. I don't know what these ores are used for. But we're just trying to reduce our inventory of gems without wasting them. Alright, let's go make some jewelry. I always like Night Harbor and the atmosphere in it. I haven't done like an atmospheric run in a while, and I really should consider that. One of the things I like about this city, I mean, you can take a wrong turn, and I think it's over here. Is he over here? A threatening figure, right? You take a wrong turn and you can get jumped. Just like in any big city, there's gonna be some crime. Only sands. Okay, very cool. There's only dads, only sands, only fangs. A lot of onlys out there. I really do like that we're not guided or handheld to our destination. I don't know why EverQuest 2 did this, where they kind of like gave you like a magical waypoint system. It kind of takes out the sense of adventure. Alright, so we need a couple of copper wires. Let's go ahead. Let's make 10. You don't really want to overdo it. Alright. So I mean, pass or fail. I don't think we really, as far as Jewelcrafting goes, I'm not really concerned. Let's go ahead and make nine. You can't even disenchant these, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's see how well we did. I forgot to pull up the GUI again. Alright, so we got the Jewelcrafting 10. So if you are going to make a character, and you pick Jewelcrafting, I think you start off at like 25. So we did all that work to get to like skill 10. So I mean, and then you have to get the enchanted dust. For this, because I don't think we can. I tried it with some of these. Let's take a look. Here we got enchanted copper bars. There we go. Okay, we still have a full stack. Now what do we got here? What did we make? One agility, one dexterity. What do I have on here? I mean, they're all right. I wouldn't necessarily go into this game as of right now, and this could change, and I'm pretty sure it is. Go and be like, oh, I want to be a jewel crafter. I don't think you're gonna have the greatest time doing that. Let's see, how many? We just have 3? 5? Only see 5 left. We probably need to do that. And we'll do 5 over here. And this is excruciatingly difficult. I mean, we are making progress, but it's not for the faint of heart, for sure. I mean, if you're like super into crafting. Okay, so what else can we make? Is that it? Seems like it. So flawed emerald. Can we do anything with that flawed emerald? Are we missing something important that we're not able to? Alright, let's craft one more. See if that's what we need. What am I doing? Oh, flawed emerald might be, flawed fire emerald might be tier 2. It's on chips. Okay. Let's see, how much do we make? Not really worth it. For all that effort. Not really worth it. It's probably a good idea not to sell that to the vendor and just put it in your shared storage space, which is what we're gonna do. Whatever we got, we'll just put it in there. Do some inventory hero. If you're just joining us, welcome. Coming back in, hey, welcome back. Been a really interesting closed beta process. Alright, we're just gonna move some of this junk stuff over here. That over there. Okay. Alright. Okay. That over there, put that over there. Real sharpening stones, we can put that. So whatever we made, we're just gonna store it for later. When we make our alts. Hide. Yeah, I'll have to come over and reorganize everything. Let's just take a short break here, coming up on the 2-hour mark. And I will be back. We'll probably go on a different class as I set some things up. This was, again, an impromptu stream. I wasn't planning to stream it today, but got the opportunity to, so I'm kind of, forgive me if I'm just kind of all over the place. But I will go somewhere. Let's see what that flirting figure is. Oh, he is... See? Okay. He's a yellow, so I'm level 24, so he's a high level mob. Alright. Let's see, where can we go? It's all Breeze Park. We can park ourselves over there. or Westgate. Probably Salisbury's Park. There we go. You guys enjoy. I will be back. Alright, we are going back in. We're gonna go ahead and start a new character for a bit, and then we're gonna log. Should probably bring up my GUI here. There we go. 15 seconds. Then we're gonna try something different. Alright, well, I did make an elementalist. I did make a wizard. I think the elementalist is a little bit cooler than the wizard, but the wizard also gets ports, and this is kind of like a hard thing. What do I want to do? Well, this class recently got a revamp. Let's take a look and see. Let's take a look and see what we can do with this guy. Now, I think they've updated it. So it's not as egregious with the mana constraints, and it's very similar to the elementalist as far as getting your spells right every full level. So you just get a bunch of spells, unlike the martial classes where you're getting it every other. You're getting every other level, and I think they probably should rethink that. I'd like them to rethink that. I don't like the. I'm not sure I really like the chunks or the power spikes. But one of the issues that we were trying to get to, and they think they've changed it just a little bit when we were doing this for the first time, was we had a little bit more spells, but I think we only get 2 for right now, and then at level 4 we're gonna get a little bit more. I don't think we're gonna get to level 4 today, but we will certainly go ahead. And feel this character out. If we don't like it, we can change it. So not bad on damage, for sure. Now at level 4 we do get meditate. We did get buffed though, I mean, so, you know. Leveling experiences may vary. We're trying to go for just rats right now. The reason being is that we're kind of limited on inventory space. It definitely takes some getting used to not having Speed of the Wild. But this is the other character I really want, and like I don't plan to get this to level 60. I plan to get it to wherever the party ports are, and then call it a day. There's a very good reason for that. see how much it changed since we last played. It's been at least a month. See if they've gotten any sort of the kinks worked out with it. These are all blue. What are the fire beetles? Fire beetles? You know, skeletons are fun to take on. Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, so after they kick you, you're not able to use that spell for a second. Okay. Right, interesting. And that's the first time I've seen like the lower levels actually have kick. Oh, well, you know what? We don't have... We just have that. We can go ahead and destroy that. Some tattered cloth on there. We'll make some cloth for a boy here. Alright. Let's see. I'll take the skeleton. Oh, no, I won't take the skeleton. See, how much mana do I have? Alright. 29. We are buffed, so we gotta keep that in mind. We're gonna avoid the other beetles. Oh, we gotta remember our rest and buff. Oh, I have a newbie light. No, I know they put like a glyph system in the wizard. I'm not really sure how that works. So we're gonna try to be a little bit more patient with the wizard. But the wizard is gonna be a bit more group oriented. We're gonna head back to campfire and just rest for a bit. So this is a class I typically don't like playing, much like Druid, but the Druid is mechanically fun. So we're gonna have to see what this is like. see what we can do with it. We'll put, well, we won't put LG on right now. We will wait for our arrested bonus, but we'll sell a few items first before we do anything. Now, if you're new to the game, you can always cook the meat, with the exception of wolf meat right now, because wolf meat you can't cook for some reason. But rat meat and snake meat you can cook. You can sell it at a higher profit. I think the snake meat is the same either way. The rat meat definitely you can cook and get a higher profit. I don't know. The snake meat used to work differently too. Hi, Chloe. Cat's decided to join us for the stream. Baby. Yeah? We're just waiting for our arrested bonus. You want to say hi? Hmm? Cats are wonderful creatures. This is one of her spots where she's one of those very particular cats where you can only show affection in certain areas, and so one of them is my computer desk. Isn't that right? Alright, we're at 20. She was fast asleep, but oh, what do we got? Don't we have okay. I can give the snake skin to Indurrian, and then the bone chips as well for crafting purposes. Okay. Jackal. Don't really need that. I mean, I guess that's good. We get a pelt, and I can put that in the shared inventory. We gotta find some time to make bags and sell them. I mean, it feels better right now. I don't know if that's just the buffs, and I think it might just be. We'll see. Last time, I mean, we were taking on 1 or 2 mobs, and then we would have to rest for like 2 or 3 minutes to get our mana back up. And I was like, okay, this is kind of arduous. If that ends up being the case, again, we'll just move on to the Elementalist. So that's a class I do like, and I am really interested in playing. So I feel, you know, like the world should just exist, and there should be some leveling or soloing to a degree with every class, because I mean, you're not going to be able to get a group all the time, and I've been on my stream for any length of time. You've heard me say that multiple times. So as long as the class feels good to play, I mean, it doesn't have to be the best thing ever when you're soloing, and it should always be like way better in groups. So by level 4, well, we'll see. I mean, does this assault the target with flash fire, dealing 6 to 9 damage at level? Okay, so it does level up with you. Okay. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I played Wizard. I really shouldn't have deleted that one. I just got so upset with it. I was like, I'm not doing this for a while. But then I started seeing in chat that they were getting paid really well for their ports. And I would like to do that. I would like to be that guy. So coming from a heavy armor wearer, class player, tank, or DPS, and playing the Wizard, it's really kind of going to be an outside opinion of, does it feel good? Is it engaging enough to play? For really anybody picking it up that doesn't know how to play it. And I got that with the Druid. The Druid is fun, and then it gets way better in groups, especially if you're, I wouldn't say the main healer, but like, yeah, if you're kind of like, if everything is covered, everything is covered, so mainly the DPS and healing, you're basically kind of like triaging and crowd control, and you feel like you make the group experience a little bit better, more smoother. We're targeting skeletons just because we want the cloth. And give that into the shared bank for our other character to craft. I don't know what, but something feels off today. I don't really care about the weapons. Somebody else can have it. Not a big deal for us, since we got a lot of money on one character. We can always just share it. Take a look at where we're at. Okay, yeah, we've almost leveled. Alright, so we want to be careful because the beetles are all linked. So if we attack one, then they're all gonna eat us. I'll take on that fire beetle. I feel like we got more spells at level 1. Last time we played. Oh, what happened? Ooh. Probably take on the snake. We'll probably ding. Hey! Alright. You're now level 3. Let's go ahead and rest. For a minute. I don't know, it doesn't feel as bad as last time. We'll see as we get up, we'll see if the damage the damage output kind of wanes. I mean, theoretically we should have more mana. I mean, we do, but I mean, we shouldn't be running out of mana like we were when we were hitting level 4. The point of like playing a class that you don't really want to play is you gotta deepen the knowledge of the game. And there is an ultimate reward for us, and that is getting teleportation. Well, you know, we might have some good feedback. Hey, I typically don't play this class. I think this class might be better if the downtime was reduced somewhat. So two things happened: our mana increased and our damage increased. Now I don't know how this is going to play out once we get into the higher levels. When the mob scaling starts to really ramp up. We might do better or we might do worse, you know, we just don't really know. We'll have to find out. That is until like Cleric comes out and I want to play that. I really want to play that. But I think I'm going to save my crafting streams, or I'm just not going to do them anymore because we're kind of at a dead end with them. The bottleneck is not being able to kill the mobs as quickly as we can. It does kind of feel bad on the druid. Of course, since everybody's playing EverQuest Legends, I'm just not going to be able to get a group with them. So there's also this other thing that's been bothering me. Mobs that shouldn't be able to parry shouldn't be able to parry. In my opinion, like a rat or a jackal, like those should be from like a humanoid mob, like the undead, bandits, things that you might actually make sense to have that ability. But they seem to be on every mob. But that's how, at least from the description, this is typically how the wizard is supposed to play. You're supposed to soften them up a bit, and then kind of lay off the mana, and then just hit them. You are, oh well, I think I got haste, that's why. A super interesting design choice to have wizards have swords. Somebody else can have that. I wonder what the design choice is, and I'm trying to think about it. Are they trying to teach you how the class fundamentally plays by not providing a bunch of other spells at every other level? Instead, we get them at blocks or in blocks. Because at least at the description, we are kind of playing the way it is intended. So in some ways it kind of feels like an archer. A little bit. Just with like less kiting. And way more magic. Speaking of which, I still have a mana bar on my archer, and I'm not sure why I have a mana bar. But I did take a look at the wizard spells, or spell lineup. They do get some interesting things. They get this like innate light source, which I'm interested in checking out, seeing what that looks like. Interesting. Alright, mob resisted my spell. Cool. Someone's giving me holy protection. Very nice. I don't know who that was, but okay. Very cool. Let's see, spiders. Rotting skeleton. We're kind of getting a skewed experience because we are buffed, so this isn't typically the leveling experience you would get. You might. If higher level players are in the zone and they're just being generous. cat's crying for whatever reason. She's fine, she's just on the bed. Doesn't seem too bad. We'll see what it's like when the buffs wear off. But I'm not really sure. I think I'm more interested in seeing how the wizard performs at the higher level. Sometimes we just want to leave some things with the noobs. Let's take a look at our settings here. Interface. There we go. Alright. Let's take a look. What could we possibly... It's a Wycon. I mean, we're doing A-okay with... Oh, okay, so just the Beatles. Oh. I'm not sure what interrupts, I don't know. Okay, well, this is what I don't know. I'm not sure what causes the interrupt if there's nothing around you and you just randomly get interrupted. Like, what do you get interrupted by? Like, that would be one thing I would recommend the devs taking a look at is, why do I suddenly just get interrupted? I can understand the fizzle mechanic. I get that. You know what? I think I'm just gonna leave it for the boys. Typically when I'm like having or need that beetle armor is like when I make my first character, my very first character, and I'm like struggling. Alright, so we know that. What about Caimans? What are the Caimans doing? Alright, well. Don't need that. That weapon. Okay. Alright, that's outside the zone, so the zone's marked right here. So I'm looking for beetles. Can I get up here? I guess I can. I will say this, it is kind of a nice effect where it kind of circles around and hits the beetle. That is nice. And one of the places I do recommend is going to Northgate and grinding in Northgate, because there's so many mobs. You don't have to travel very far. So we are now at DPS turret. Oh, he's running away. Didn't really expect that. Okay. Alright, we got 5 minutes. We're gonna go back, we're gonna sell a few things, and we're gonna rest up, and we're gonna head back out here. And we're gonna try. I mean, it's very nice that those people did buff me. I just kind of wanted to try it without buffs, just the class as is, just so we can kind of see what we're working with, and if they did change anything. It seems like they did, although, you know, again, it could be skewed because of all the buffs we got from the very generous player base here. And so the first part of the stream was we were taking a look at the Jewelcrafting, and yeah, immediately I would say, like, hey, when you're crafting that stuff, it's gonna take a while. Also, they are gonna be revamping it, at least all the trade skills, as far as I'm aware. And if you're gonna be jewel crafting, you're trying to go into the game being like, oh, I want to be a jewel crafter, understand, it's gonna take you a while, and it depends on luck and how many of those crystallized magics are dropping. In order for you to disenchant, or the magic fronds in order to disenchant. So even the druid can get a substantial tip of a gold. So this one gentleman looking for a port from Night Harbor to Evershade, tipping 1 gold. So again, like I said, like, hey, your first character really should be considered a druid. You don't have to get them up very far, just enough to where you can support your other characters. And the only other reason why we're doing the wizard is for the porting, because people will hit you up and they will tip pretty well. And maybe I should do a stream about transporting people. Oh yeah, I had to take yesterday off because I was working on my tutoring business. that's fun. One of the problems I'm coming up with, like the tutoring business that I'm doing with, because I tutor K through 12, math, reading, and science, is that all the parents, they kind of want everything at the same exact time right after school. And there's only so much of me and so many available slots. And so what I've been looking into is like business plan. Now, one of the guys I was looking at, he was just kind of throwing out ideas. He's a teacher, and he's like, well, he would make a class. He'd make a 12-week class, charge $1,000 each. But the thing about that is like you kind of need some people need that one-on-one. Some people need it to be physically somewhere and present. So if you're going to do that, then you're probably going to need a brick and mortar store at some point, or like an actual learning center, or an after-school learning center to enroll in. That might actually be a good idea, but I mean that takes a lot of money. So I might be looking into that. I'm going to stuff it there for right now. Alright, let's take a look at our copper earrings. Sure. Why not? We'll sell the rest of it to the cook. Yeah, but that's the other thing that's going to be cutting into my stream time is because the school season is going to start up again. I'm going to be very busy. Now, typically, you don't want to do what I'm doing, but we just don't need it. We really don't. Bone chips we're gonna save. That will help us out in the long run. Which money do we got? Okay. So we already made 4 silver. That's not bad. Put the bone chips in. Well, we can just carry around the bone chips. That's fine, because we're gonna kill more skeletons anyways. We'll top off on our rest of the bonus. We'll go back out there. That is a necromancer in training. Yeah, but there's so many targets of opportunity around here that this is probably the place to go, or the crypt area. Nice. Let's test our luck here. Because we're gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go pretty soon because I do have to work on other things. Other projects. Ooh. Not looking good for us, guys. I don't think I'm not gonna be able to out DPS this thing. Oh, I might be. Oh, we wouldn't have been able to do that without buffs. Hey, we got some boots. Nice. Very cool. We don't get any more spells until like level 4, so we gotta kind of power through the level 3. Alright. Why not? We'll take that. Why the heck not? It definitely feels like a little bit of a different game at this level. I mean, we'll see. I mean, it depends on the class, right? Like, I feel like if I had more DPS on the druid, I think I'd be okay. It's just the DPS that I'm able to do is just way too mana expensive. A lot of bats. We'll take on the bats. Definitely feels like a DPS turret. I mean, I will say it's kind of nice to be primarily ranged. What the? Why is my casting being interrupted? So weird. That's the only thing that's weird about this game is the casting. Very neat. Now, if you're new to this game, you can, and you're getting cloth in your cloth wearing class, you could patch it up if you want to. It'll give you one more AC than you already have. since I already have a character that can do tailoring, and it's at a relatively decent level, I can outfit most of my wizard if I choose to, and I think I am. I'm just not going to be doing it on stream. We're almost at the halfway mark to level 4. I think at level 4 I'm going to be looking for groups. Alright, so some of our buffs have worn off, so see how we do. If it's still kind of iffy, I'm gonna go onto the Elementalist and play around with that for a while. I mean, I guess we don't really have to. We don't really have to switch characters, right? We can just try to find a group. I just think it's going to be a little bit difficult because we are a DPS class. It's not like we're an enchanter where we can provide a lot of utility. I know I had one chatter in my stream, and he was talking about, yeah, it is a bit arduous playing the wizard. And he was like level 3. Or at least below level 4 because he didn't have meditate. But even then, I mean, meditation takes a while. Do. We can now turn that on. Use as a cheap light source for us. Typically it's been an extremely quiet night, although, you know, I've been also quiet, right? I can't really complain. I think I've just been busy. And like, and when I have, excuse me, when I have like an idea for a stream where I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to do this certain thing, and then I try to do it, and I just don't have the heart into it. I'm just like, okay, I need to go think about doing something else. Like it kind of sucks, like all the wind out of my sails. So I think I've just been crafting for so long where I'm just like, you know what? I think I need to do something different for a bit. Well, that's part of the joy of this game, you know. You don't have to stick with one class, and I do have a lot of alts. I am one of those people that just like, okay, well, I like this class, but I don't like the drawbacks with this at a certain point. All right, we'll see if we can. Oh, it's still. I mean, it's not too bad. We'll go ahead and rest up because we're at 8 minutes. We'll top back off with the rest of bonus. But more importantly, we now need to meditate. Alright, we'll leave that for the boys. We'll sit by the campfire. Okay, the guy just waved to me. Alright. Now we're waiting for... We don't have meditate, so we can't really improve upon the regeneration rate of our mana. But you know, we're coming up on 3 hours, and I told my wife that I'm probably only going to be doing 3 hours a day. And I gotta go do other things. So we'll call it right here. We're about halfway to level 4. Next stream we'll see how we do, whether or not we're just going to be kind of locked into a group beyond level 4, which I suspect might happen. Again, they did some changes with it, so we will see how it feels. If I'm not like really feeling it, or not, you know, it's not really working with me, then I'm gonna go play the Elementalist. We'll have fun there. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for, you know, started the channel for my public speaking. And, you know, if you're just sitting there and not saying anything, I appreciate the lurking, and I'm able to talk to somebody at the very least. So, thank you so much. And I will see you guys out there.